I come from a small town in South Germany. I'm someone who's also just recognizing, being part in this world, wondering what is this all about, and then making some conclusions. And for me it was in my very young age, I was already like, I want to use this world, I want to see this world as like a big playground, but it was also my aim to see the world. Yeah, just being part in this world, seeing what's possible. After I finished school, I really wanted to see the world, and then I went to India. That's actually where I say that's my second birth. I went to Auroville. It's a place where they live like really in a different way. It's like an alternative village, and yeah, there I learned like how to live kind of in harmony with nature. What is possible? How to build? How to grow? How to use or treat your waste and everything. So when I came back, I was like, okay, I need to study something in this direction. So I started to study biophysics. But I didn't want to live like in the usual way, because that time it really treated me in a certain direction. So I said I want to live like in a small hut, maybe at the forest, and it came like that. So I found one small hut. I had like a small garden. It was the first place where I could express myself. So when I had a look upon nature, I was like really impressed by all the structures and what they're doing, because I was the entire day actually I was in the forest. So and these structures, they lead me to a certain view that I say, okay, I want to work with that. And my first invention then was a tower which could grow. And that's where the name Growing Tower comes from. You don't need a ladder anymore or a crane or something. You can just build like a ramp in a spiral shape, and then you turn the tower after the golden angle actually. It's also like this secret geometry which is everywhere in nature, and this golden angle, and then you put a new element, golden angle, new element, golden angle, new element. So that was the first part of the journey. And then I got an invention, one club in Berlin. They said, nice idea, we want to have this kind of tower in our club. That's why I came to Berlin, and now I started to study wood engineering. If you think about like a creative process, I think always starts with inspiration. If I want to have real, proper, like pure inspiration, I watch this tree outside or go into the forest or something. I say, like, if you look at nature, if you look at the universe, then your inspiration starts. If you look upon the work of someone else, then you will just get a small window of that what he saw in nature, and you will never reach that point. Look in your mind, look in what already is there, what you saw, because what other architects did, they were they just had the inspiration of nature, and then they made something really incredible. Okay, there's this thought. For example, I saw this woman, she looked pretty. I saw this tree, it looked pretty. I saw this, car, and I have like a political idea. So these are my objects and my things. So then I think, okay, how can I connect? Can maybe this woman become a car somehow? How can we bring this in symmetry? So I like to use golden ratios or something. Okay, what should be in focus, and then where is the border of my canvas? And then it should be in the end all in all aesthetic. And if I then say, okay, that was a good idea, then I say, okay, it comes to a canvas. So I have like a very straight idea of what it should look like before I start the canvas. Creative process is really start. Don't think and don't say, oh, it's a very expensive canvas, I have to make like the best thing, and then, I don't know, you just sit at your table, take a small piece of paper and start. Do it. Don't restrict yourself. That's everything. So, if we talk about clients, very early I recognized that the projects that I do need someone who has a bit of money and a bit of a place and a bit of a force to say, okay, this is cool to have. One example, my biggest tower was 15 meters tall. It was in India and it was made out of bamboo. I went to a couple of places where I said, okay, I want to try something for new housing. You know, imagine a house which could grow. And then one group of people, it was called Bamboo Center in Oroville, they were like, okay, let's do it. But we wanted to show the people how tall you can build with bamboo, and I think that's a good thing. So I had to change my idea a bit. So again, you have to show people why it is important to dedicate some money to that project. So I try to always be good with people, and then we needed people. So again, you have to, you know, and that was maybe even the hardest part, because then I started the time when I only dedicated myself to make a great time, because these were all volunteers and we had to create a world of immense fun and great time. That was, other people don't have to do if they just pay the money. My money was to, we made like really nice actions. Every day there was something else, yoga, nice food or something. We were cooking together, we were going to this and that. Just one example where I say, you know, if you want to make a project happen, don't restrict yourself. Make everything what is possible. Later it was not that hard, because other clients came when they could also pay workers and everything. You make one project, you meet some 3-4 new people, and then slowly it works. If there's no corona, it works. So I had actually 6 festivals this summer. But we also have to say, you know, it's not all about producing. Also take joy of non-producing. So I say, okay, then we don't have these big projects on the festivals. I try to set up something by my own. Right now there is not the time for clients, so we give something. I want to set up a product, for example a lamp or a table which is dynamic. If something unexpected is coming, and that can always have, so I try to learn to live with the unexpected. My work is like really variative. If I cannot calculate and if I cannot making computer work, I will go to the canvas. If I cannot paint at the canvas, I will go to the workshop and making something handy with wood or something. And if all that is not working, I can just say, okay, today is a day of chill and relaxing. It's also happening. Growing Tower is an idea. When I started to work, I didn't want to have my name written underneath the project, because I was like really sure that the idea is not coming from my mind. An idea is coming to my mind, and that's perfectly right, because it's not your idea, it's coming. You cannot control it. And that's why I said these are not Florian Gorlitz ideas, these are Growing Tower ideas, because somehow it's to do with like growing, and tower was the idea of like a growing building, a natural man, a natural static, dynamic statics, something like this, you know, to connect these two things. And now I would say it's a label. Actually, everybody is invited to dedicate an idea to the project, and welcome to do something good to the project, to express yourself even within the project. I will always say, okay, you say we should color it pink. Maybe it looks cool, let's color it pink. So there are a lot of points where I say, okay, this is not possible that I do it by myself. So I need people. That's why everybody is somehow welcome to join. So the dynamic objects, the idea which came to me when I said, okay, the tower that I was making with the spiral, which is actually growing, it would be cool if you not even have to build it. It would be cool if you just pull somewhere and it would change its shape. I painted something which was kind of a square. Square was divided in half and I was like, okay, could this somehow work? And I made a small model and I had the first dynamic square actually, which turns from one square to another square. It was like, I tried it in a small model and it was possible. And I was like, okay, it looks like a cube and then it becomes like a hexagon and then it becomes an octahedron. Like, okay, if these two platonic bodies are somehow connected, what about the other five? Or the other three? And it turned out that every platonic solid, it's possible to turn one into another. And that's the cool thing. Now I know that actually any shape which has somehow a center or a center line is dynamic. But also you can have two-dimensional objects, just a line and it turns into a circle. It's a square and it turns into an 8. It's like a lot of crazy things which are actually possible. You just, and it's super simple, you just have length and you divide it in a certain division, or you have angles, different length, and it's everything what you have to know about that, and then you can do amazing stuff. The cool thing with Motion Labs is that they have a laser cutter, found a system with MDF material which allows me to make very quick, within a few hours, a model of my idea. So it's like, actually I see it like painting in 3D. It's like, okay, I have an idea and I make a small drawing in my SketchUp, I put the file and I have it ready, and that's the cool thing. But what else I can do is, like with the CNC machine or with bigger machines, I can make, for example, this huge object that I built this week, 5 meter diameter. That's kind of pretty impressive. 50% is politics. Answering messages, doing social media, doing these, talking with people. It's super important that you calculate 50% of your time into making the things run. Another huge part of my life is also music, for sure. Playing as a DJ on parties or festivals, that's also cool. Future goals. Usually I say, to make an installation on Burning Man, you only have the moment to enjoy. So for sure I say, this project should be nice and that should be happening, but I cannot say which projects are coming to me in the next half year or something, or you know. So mainly I'm open for everything which comes. My message: try to let things be as they are, to let other people be as they are, to let yourself be as you are. Doing that, you don't need to worry about your creative flow or something, because you cannot force things.